All right. So we're going to continue looking at Facebook and Instagram ads. This is going to be a very meaty and detailed deep dive into Facebook and Instagram ads today. So let's get started here. We're going to look at, first of all, just kind of checking the performance of the ads that we started last week. And then we're going to answer some of the questions that were asked last week related to what are the specifications for running a video ad, and how can you run an ad specifically on Instagram. And then the bulk of our time is going to be spent looking at a more detailed way to create ads on Facebook than what we looked at last week. And this is going to include a demonstration of how to use the A/B test tool in Facebook Ads Manager. So it's this is important. It might sound really nerdy and scientific, and it's definitely nerdy. I'd like to think it's scientific as well, but the point is that A/B testing is the key to make sure that you don't waste a ton of money on ads. Because remember, like we talked about last time, Facebook ads and Instagram ads and Google ads, these companies, their primary source of revenue is selling ads. And so they are more than happy to take your money and it's really easy they make it really easy for you to put in your payment info and get the ads running, and you could let them run as long as your payment info works, right? They'll just take all of your money, and there will be, and they'll always, they'll don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm not saying that when you run these ads that nothing happens. No, that's not true. When you run the ads, what we'll look at in just a minute is you can see how they're doing, how many people are seeing them, how many people are clicking on them. But if you really want to be a good steward of the money that you're spending on ads, I'm trying to make the case that you have to do A/B testing in some form. And that means that whatever you're trying to advertise, you should always set up a test where you're running two variations at least of the same ad, and then you see how those two variations do, and then you only spend money on the variation which performs better, right? That's how you keep from wasting money on online ads. All right, so just I think you all know the goals, but we're not trying to reinvent the wheel with these webinars. We're just trying to equip you with proven methods of outreach. These are the methods of outreach, as I think I say every time. These are the 4 things that are listed in the church planting manual of the Orthodox Presbyterian Church. So these are, realize there's different denominations represented here, but these are not like trendy things. They're only, the trendiness of it is just the fact that technology keeps changing. But advertising, publishing newsletters, organizing conferences, distributing sermons and teaching, these are time-tested, proven methods of outreach, and that's what we're focusing on in these webinars. All right, so we're actually going to dive right in. I do have kind of some information at the end of the webinar today, if we have time, just about some of our new outreach-related services that you may be interested in. We're going to just dive right into actually the the training and demonstration portion of the webinar today. Just a little recap. Why advertise on Facebook and Instagram versus, say, Google? One of these days, we do plan to do a series of webinars on running Google ads. So the big difference is that with Google ads, you really can only show your ad to somebody when they're conducting a specific search. So so when we do the webinars for Google ads, we're going to talk about how to advertise your church for people that are searching for church near me, right? So Google ads are great for that. But if you're just trying to get the attention of people while they're, I don't know, looking at other stuff online, then Google ads are not going to be very helpful for that. Facebook ads are very helpful because they can be shown to people on Facebook, on Instagram, as they're just, looking, seeing how their friends are doing, seeing how their family's doing, looking at, the latest funny antics of dogs and cats and so forth, right? Facebook ads can be are great at getting people's attention that way. And we really want to make sure that Instagram is in the mix as well, because, for example, for Gen Z, for the the youngest adults, they don't even really use Facebook. They use Instagram, they use TikTok. I know it says ByteDance, but that's just the company that owns TikTok. But they don't use Facebook. And then among millennials, a lot of millennials will use Instagram, and they might not use Facebook at all, or not use it as much. So if your goal is to reach the young adults 18 through 34 and 18 through 40, you really need to have Instagram in the mix in addition to Facebook, because Facebook is really most popular among folks in my age and older. So all right, so let's y'all ready to take a look at the ads we started last week and see how they're doing? It's actually really interesting. We are doing an experiment. I call it an experiment, but it's actual. We're actually showing ads. And let me just kind of go back and go back to, like, how do you get there? So if you're logged in to Facebook, first of all, you need to make sure that you have your account bubble here in the top right has your Facebook page selected. And then you can just go to that page, and assuming you're logged in, you're going to see all this extra stuff around your page. And one of them is Ad Center. So as you may recall, there were two ads we started last week. They're both still running. They've both spent about 17 bucks. They've both reached about 3,800 people in a 5-mile radius around the church building. Now, the difference between the two, let's see if we can get an idea here. Let's see. Preview. Okay, let's see the preview. So this one here is, it'll load. This is a carousel ad. So basically, it has an image, and it actually it has some videos in there as well. That preview is not working very well, is it? You can basically see it here. So basically, it has a photo of the church building. It has a video, yeah, 3 different videos, each showing a different preacher, right? So that's, and you can kind of see it over here as well. So people can sort of click through, they see the invitation to worship. They can see what the church building looks like. They can watch a little video clip of any of the 3 preachers. That's one of the ads. I'm going to cancel that because I don't want to actually edit it right now. And then the other ad was simpler. It just shows a photo. So let's view results of that one. And let's see, we'll click on an ad. And this one, we just have a photo, or maybe it's a video. But anyway, it's just one. It's just one video with one of the preachers. All right. All right, so those were the 2 ads. And it kind of looks like they're running, they're basically getting the exact same results. But you need to dig a little bit deeper. So to do that, you got to go into Ads Manager. Now, I'm going to click on this. For those who are easily overwhelmed, this could be overwhelming. There's a lot going on in Ads Manager. There's a lot of different things. So first thing I need to, because I have different ads that I've run for like businesses and churches, nonprofits over the years. I have all these different ad accounts, so forth. So that's the first thing I need to do, is to get into the correct ad account. So now I'm in the correct ad account. And you can see a list of different ad campaigns that I've been involved with over the years. But these 2 right here, the TRC OPC single video and the TRC OPC media carousel, are the 2 that we were just looking at. So each of those ads had a button that said click here, basically. And it basically, when the user clicked on that, it would take them to the church website. So to really see which of these ads is doing better, if the goal is to get people to actually go to the church website, and I think it should be, I think that's a very good goal, is to always get people off of Facebook or get people off of Instagram onto your website. That's really what we need to evaluate. So one thing you can do is you want to look at your columns. So I think if we scroll over here, there's all these different things. Okay, but you can see here, this media carousel got 20 link clicks, and the single video got 4 link clicks. All right. So which of the two ads is doing better at achieving the goal? The one that got 20 link clicks or the one that got 4 link clicks? Well, it's the one that got 20 link clicks, because that's the goal, is to get people to actually off of Facebook or off of Instagram onto the website. There's another way that you can look at this information. That's by clicking the compare. I'm going to click compare. And let's see. And then I click. Oh, it looks like it already has both of them in there. So you can see the media carousel, one that had the image, the photo, and the 3 videos. That's the dark blue line, and it's getting a lot more link clicks, whereas the single video is getting a lot fewer clicks. So this is another way you can look at the data. So based off of this, this is kind of a simple way of doing an A/B test. Based off of this, I'm going to stop the single video, because it's the cost per click is $4.29. Whereas for this other one, it's 86 cents. I'm gonna stop the single video. All right. And so that we're not going to waste money on that ad anymore. And I can go back to this ad and I can change that and adjust that to be $5 daily instead of the $2.50. All right. So now we've taken that money that we were spending $2.50 a day on those two ads. Now we have stopped the one that was underperforming, and we're just applying that budget to the one which is getting basically 5 times better results, right? Okay, so I see things coming in the chat window, so I'm going to stop and ask some questions. Holly, maybe you can just unmute yourself and just kind of explain your thought process, because maybe there's...
Yes. Okay, no problem. I understand. I was wondering the difference in price there. So you said $4 and some cents per click, and then 80 some cents per click. So that's what you had budgeted out, or is that something different?
Okay, good question. So yeah, I mean, basically there's so many columns on this. We can maybe really we probably just want to let's see. I don't know. We probably just want to get rid of all of these columns. We can always add them back in later. But really the only two things that I'm really concerned about in this case are the link clicks and the cost per click. Because the goal is, again, the goal for these ads is to get people off of Facebook and Instagram and onto the church website. And for this ad, the one that's still running, over the past week, it's cost 86 cents to get per person that clicks through to the website. Okay. Whereas the other ad, it costs $4.29 to get one person to click through to the website. This budget is just a guideline for Facebook of saying here's the maximum on average that Facebook can spend on the ads. So, all right, any other questions before we move on? All right, so I think let's see where we are here. So we've checked our performance using Facebook Ad Center. We have analyzed the performance using Facebook Ad Manager. And yes, Jeffrey, that's a good note. The price per click is just a measurement of how many clicks you're getting at a given cost. Yeah, it's basically it's a math of how much was spent divided by the number of clicks that have happened, over this period of time. In this case, it's basically since last Thursday these have been running, and that gives you the cost per click. That's a very, very important metric to be aware of to make sure you don't waste money. Yes, thank you, Ron. That's the exact math equation. Very good. Get an A+. All right. So let's go on to answer one of the questions that came up last week. And this was, suppose I want to run a video ad on Facebook and Instagram. And so Facebook has this page, and let me put the link to that in the chat window. And I'll open it. So they have this page that can kind of guide you through all the different places that ads can show. Doesn't that stir fry look good? Yum, yum. So this again is kind of, I mean, it's kind of overwhelming. I mean, all these, there's like so many different placements and so on and so forth. I think if you boil it all down, basically the takeaway for me is that you you want you want your video or your image to be square, because a lot of these are basically a square shape. All right. So um, so whether it's a video or whether it's an image, right, you can kind of go through and look at all the details, but basically it should be a square image or a square video, or it should look good if it's placed in a square shape. All right. Facebook will basically take whatever you get it and it will put it in the square. And it just, you know, just if when you took the photo or you took the video, it wasn't square originally, it just might not look quite as good, but they'll still let you run your ad. All right, so let's before we get into creating a new ad using Facebook Ads Manager and creating an A/B test, let me just give you a demo from Canva of how you could use Canva to create an image for a Facebook ad. So what we're doing this week is we're creating some ads to promote the English classes that this church offers. So we're going to, Canva has a type of design. I mean, they have things that are Facebook ads and Facebook posts. Feel free to experiment with those. I think actually just using this Instagram post, which is basically just a square image, is probably a good way to go. Because when you're running ads, again, it's the default is it's gonna display it on Facebook, Instagram, and then some other places as well. And as we were just seeing, square is more or less the real estate on the screen that Facebook provides, or Instagram. All right, so I've been experimenting with different kind of chalkboards. So you can, it's just gonna be a very simple ad. You know, my daughter who's in middle school, she could probably come up with one that's 10 times better than this. So you have kids or grandkids that they probably are already experts at using Canva. Just ask them to design something for you and they'd enjoy it, be helpful to the church, so forth. So so we're going to use, all right, we're gonna, let's see, how do we do this? Add a text box, there we go. We're just gonna say free, we're gonna do one in English this time, free English classes. And we're gonna move it over the chalkboard. Right, then we're going to change the color. And we definitely got to make it bigger. All kinds of different, but we don't want to make, we want to make it really readable. And let's make it a lot bigger. Let's see, how do we, there we go. Okay, so there we go. We could do a lot more, but this is simple. It gets the point across. When in doubt, be clear rather than clever. If you're too clever, a lot of times people just, you know, don't understand what you're trying to convey. So I'm gonna download this. All right, and so now we have an image that we can use for these next ads that we're creating. All right, so I see something has come through in the chat. Yes, so yes, that's a good point. Is that if you're offering English classes, you might want to write in the language that they understand. So why don't we just go ahead and do that right now? We'll create a variation that's in Spanish. So we'll go to the church website and take that. And let's make a copy of this. And we'll say, okay. And I don't know Spanish, so I am not going to try to make something up. So we'll just go like this. All right, and we'll download that. Okay, so now we have a couple of square images. Again, it's the key to be a good steward of money and not wasting money on ads is A/B testing. Whatever you're trying to advertise, run a test. Check in on the test after a few days or a week. Look at which ad is getting better results. Stop the ad which is not getting results or not getting as good results, and then redirect that budget into the ad which is getting better results. So that's what we're going to look at next. So another way of doing it, because Facebook actually provides a way of doing this. All right, so we're going to go ahead and create a new ad. And we did this last week, but we didn't do it using Facebook Ads Manager. So Facebook Ads Manager gives you a lot more options that you can customize. So our goal is traffic, because we want people to click on the link, and we want to actually send people directly to this English classes page on the church website. They can read about the details and they can register for the class directly on the website. So, so that's our goal, is traffic. And we're going to just actually stick with the recommended settings. Even with using recommended settings, there's still a lot more options than the example we looked at last week. But there is this other option called manual traffic campaign, which gives you about, 500 knobs and levers that you can adjust. All right, so one thing to observe, first of all, is that there is a structure that has been roughed in here, and there's a campaign, an ad set, and an ad. So we basically need to go through these three things, and the campaign has settings, the ad set has settings, and the ad has settings as well. All right, so we're going to call this right. The special ad categories are not relevant in this case. They only apply for financial products, advertising jobs, advertising housing, and then advertising things related to social issues, elections, and political campaigns. None of those things apply in this case. I'm going to keep Advantage campaign budget off in this case, because it's assuming, I think, that you have more than one ad set, which that's not my intention right now. And then there is an option where you can say create A/B test. You could certainly activate that, but I'm just going to show you this another way that once this ad is created, you can just click there's another way you can click the A/B test button. Okay, so now we've set the campaign settings. Now we're into the ad set settings. So we're going to call this the English. I think in this case, I'm interested in an A/B test of using English versus using Spanish. So we're going to call this the English ad set. And we're going to send traffic to the website. And the performance goal is to maximize the number of link clicks. You can see there's other goals. Like you could say, show the ads to people as many times as possible, or show the ads to as many different people, different unique people per day. But we're going to just stick with this one, which is maximize the number of link clicks. Okay, then we're going to use a daily budget of $2.50. And we will set an end date in this case. We'll say October 31. The budget scheduling, I'm going to skip that for now, just because, I feel like I would need more data. I don't think that's relevant in this case. So I'm just going to skip that. And I would definitely need to specify the location, because right now it would show the ads to everybody in the United States, which is estimated audience size of 166 million. So that's way too big. So we are going to just put in, you can just put in the address of the building. Let's see here. Okay, and it found it. And we're going to decrease the radius to 5 miles. Let's try that again, 5. It's not really working, is it? There we go, 5 miles. All right. And then it has these things about Advantage Plus audience and placements. So we're going to leave these as the defaults. These are basically, they have the little AI sort of icons next to them, because when we began this process, we chose, to go with the recommended defaults. If we had not gone with the recommended defaults, there would be additional options that would display here, including under placements. There's this whole other, it's not here, but we'd have to go back and create start a new ad from scratch and just basically say, show us all the advanced settings. There's a way in placements where you could just actually select to show the ads only on Instagram, for example, or only on Facebook. It's the placements that refers to Facebook, Instagram, and there's some other websites that that ads can show in. In this case, it's just, basically it's just gonna show the ads across all of the different websites that that are in Meta's network, Facebook, Instagram, etc. All right, so that is the ad set settings. And now we're, so we've done the campaign, we've done the ad set, and now we are here and we're actually just going to specify the ad. We're going to create the ad. So we're going to just say, call it English, English language ad. Okay, and it does have this option here of adding site links. So it certainly doesn't hurt. It's basically just giving people some other things on the website that people could click on that might catch their interest. So I'm going to go ahead and add those. All right, now here's where we actually put in the image. So we're going to go ahead and add the image that we created in Canva a few minutes ago. And here is where it's showing you different ways that different crops that could be used. So I think I'm going to just go with original because I don't like the fact that it crops off Lanham, Maryland there. All right, and there's all these different things that Facebook does to try to spice up the presentation of the ad. So I'm just going to click done. We'll just kind of let Facebook decide what they want to do with that. We'll focus on what the ad is about. We're going to say free English classes. Actually, I think that is not, we need a lot more in there. So let's do this. Let's go here. So when creating ads, you know, I always just look at the web page that we're directing people to and just look for relevant, you know, paragraphs and sentences from there to use, right? You don't need to reinvent the wheel. And let's add another option. Let's see, let's add okay, there we go. I see there's a question. Yes, thank you, the Google Translate of the Spanish. So for this variation though, we're just going to have it in English. We'll create an A/B test which has Spanish momentarily. All right, so the headline needs to be short. So we're going to say free English classes. All right, and then we can add up to 5 different variations for each of these things. All right, we're not going to do that, but we can. And basically, what Facebook does is it just tries those different variations and sees how they do. So for the description, we'll just use this. And that's going to be displayed right there, and then people can click learn more. All right, and now the destination, we want to make sure to send people directly to the English classes page. All right, and then that's basically it. All right, there is this languages option as well that I think could be very helpful in this kind of case. But I'm going to go ahead and publish this because I want to show you how to use the A/B test tool, because we're going to use a different image. So I'm going to click publish. Okay. Right, now we have that ad running, or that ad has been created. So there is, as we talked about last time, there is a delay. Right now it says there's no ads, it's still in the review. But we are going to go ahead and start an A/B test. So I have this TRC OPC English classes alternate that we just created the past few minutes. And I've selected that with the check mark. Now I'm going to click A/B test. All right, and I'm going to just make a copy of what we did. And we'll call it, let's see, testing different language image, right? And then the metric is going to be link clicks. So we're looking for which ad results in more link clicks, more people actually clicking the button that will then take them to the church website where they can see the details and then register for the class. And we will let it run until next Thursday, but we will end it early if a winner is found. So now I'm going to click duplicate campaign. All right, so now it basically just has sent me into something that looks very similar to what we were already in. But you can see here that the campaign name is test. All right, so that's the distinction here. All right, so now we're going to there's probably all kinds of we could talk at great length about structuring the account and different optimal account structure. So not necessarily claiming that I'm doing this the absolute best way it could possibly be done, but we are setting up an A/B test. All right, so you can see here there's 2 campaigns in this test, and what we're going to change is the ad creative. So we're not going to use the image with the English language text on the chalkboard. We are going to use the one with the Spanish. All right, so the image looks the same. The one regret I have about putting this up there is that it doesn't say Lanham, Maryland in there. So let's see if I can fix that real quick. So let's do this. We'll just say there. We'll get Lanham, Maryland in there. That way it's more of a apples to apples comparison. All right, and we'll download that. All right, And let's upload that one. All right, so we'll use those defaults or those settings for cropping. Click done. All right, and now we're just going to put in the Spanish language text instead of the English. So, here it is. All right, I think that's everything. I didn't find, if anybody finds a way to put the call to action buttons in Spanish, let me know. I wasn't able to find that. But maybe that is just something that's taken care of if somebody is in Facebook's system as a with Spanish as their primary language. Um, so I think that's everything for this uh, uh, this test. It's basically the same as the English language ad. It's just in Spanish. So this will also be an interesting A/B test. Um, so so there we go. Um, we've set up an A/B test. We've created an ad with the Facebook Ads Manager, and I think that is everything that I promised we were going to do today, except for this. So somebody asked last week about running an ad specifically on Instagram. So basically what you would need to do, let me go here. When you click create, you would want to select manual traffic campaign, right? And that basically gives you control over all of the different settings. And one of those settings is what you see here, which is when you are editing the ad set, you can, under placements, you can specifically select which platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Audience Network, or Messenger. So you could uncheck the boxes for Facebook, Audience Network, and Messenger and just run them on Instagram. But I think, general rule is just if you're just getting started, just run them on both. There's it's like the canons of Dort saying we're trying to get the gospel out to everybody. All right. I mean, the Bible says that, right? So it's like we're trying to get the word out to everybody within a geographical radius. So my personal recommendation would just be, just if you're just getting started, um, just have Facebook show the ads on all the different platforms. All right. Any questions? Feel free to unmute yourself or just put something in the chat. All right. Good question, Ron. Can you unmute yourself and explain that question?
Okay, so you showed in the prior slide with the yellow highlight.
Yes.
Yeah. Down there, number 3.
Mhm.
So if we check Facebook and Instagram,
Yep.
and this is our initial entry into this whole process.
Mhm.
Every step that you did in the last 20 minutes would be done here and would then be built for Facebook and Instagram simultaneously. Is that right? Yeah, whereas what you did in the last 20 minutes was focused on Facebook.
Well, no, the ads we just created are actually using the Advantage Plus audience and Advantage Plus placements. We just
Okay.
use the recommended settings. Basically, let's take a look at, here's the one. So I created one of these earlier today,
Mhm.
and let's take a look. It's interesting. This one, uh, one out of these two is definitely already doing better, which is interesting. Um, and let's see. So
Maybe I didn't ask the question correctly. Everything you did in the last 20 minutes was going to be displayed in Google. Is that correct?
no, it's all going to be displayed on Facebook,
Oh.
Instagram. See, it's using the advantage placements.
Hmm.
Basically, what that means is Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, and then Facebook's display network, which I guess would be some other websites.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and if you're just, if you're just getting started with ads, and I think that's a good way to go, because it's displaying them across basically everywhere that Meta owns.
All right.
Yeah.
So in the yellow highlighted, where you checked off
Yeah.
that portion, you started talking about how to do it in Instagram. I presume that meant Instagram only. You would come here and tick off Instagram.
Yeah, this would be if you wanted. Somebody asked a question last week that said, "Hey, how do I run an ad that only displays on Instagram?"
Okay.
And um, as you've already seen just in between last week and this week, there's multiple ways that you can run an ad um, on Facebook. There's multiple ways you can run an ad on Instagram. So
Mhm.
this is one way you can do it. You can use Facebook Ads Manager. You can, as you're setting up the ads, you can basically select the, as I was showing, um, when you're creating a new ad, just uncheck these boxes. When you're creating a new ad, you can just select manual traffic campaign.
Mhm.
Right? This gives you finer control over all settings. And one of the types of settings that using going the manual traffic campaign route is here, right? You can, there you go. You can choose manual placements, right? You could just check, I just want to show things on Instagram.
Okay, so your money will be spent for only Instagram ads. Is
Yep.
that
Yep.
set up? Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
And you can even get more fine grained. You can even say, I only want to show things on, the Instagram feed. Okay. Or you could say I only want to do Instagram feed and Instagram stories. Frankly, that's if you're just getting started with ads, I wouldn't even bother with any of that. It's way too detailed. If you were in a situation where you were, spending, let's say thousands of dollars over an extended per month over an extended period of time, I definitely would start to look at this level of detail, to really see, which of the places that the ads are being displayed are getting results and which ones don't, because that's another way you can save money.
So you could also use this fine tuning to create A/B ads or A/B tests.
Yes, this could be something that you could incorporate into an A/B test. Is you could say you could test running the same ad on Facebook and Instagram. And then you could see, you could have the same ad, but one version A goes on Facebook, version B goes on Instagram, and then you could compare the results. And then that could be another way that you could find to, maximize the return on your investment. So, all right. Well, we are at 12:59 Eastern time. Our next webinar is very cryptically titled "Taking Your Ads to the Next Level." So we're going to check in and see how these ads are doing. One of the things I do have on the agenda for next week is a couple of things. One of them is, how do you incorporate use of the meta pixel into your ads, which is basically this tracking code you can put on your website. Okay. And what you can do with the meta pixel is you can actually track whether people fill out the form. Okay. And so then that's like the next level of maximizing your return on investment, is how do you show the ads not only just to the people that visit the page, but to the people that actually fill out the form, right? So in order to be able to, give Facebook some information on whether a particular user fills out the form, you need to install the meta pixel. So we'll look at installing the meta pixel, and we'll also look at actually there's this whole nother aspect. There's this whole nother way to manage ads. It's like I forget what they call it. It's like the business. Anyway, it's this whole other site basically that Facebook has that basically relates to how do you, who pays the bill for the ads. Okay, so we'll kind of look into that. And it also has to do with getting other people involved in managing the ads. So that's all I've got for today. Thanks for coming, and we'll see you next week. Yeah, bye.